Last fall, Faith Bridgers began a journey called Legacy to take a step of faith and build facilities where we could make an impact for Christ in our community for generations to come. And now, almost half a year later, the vision is taking shape. Every day, progress is being made, bringing into reality new space for our road missions teams, a chapel, and for our student ministry.
So we started construction on the student ministry and road building early March, first week of March. So we've been at it a little over 3 months. In that time, we've done the dirt work, the utilities, the foundations, the steel structure. We're now working on the exterior walls, getting those framed and sheathed and enclosed. Masonry has started, so the brickwork's going on, windows are going in. On the inside, we're doing overhead conduit and getting ready for ductwork and piping overhead. So right now we are on plan, on budget, on schedule. Everything is just trucking right along. We're very excited.
When I come here and come visit the site, even though I can see the sky through all of the beams in the ceilings and I can't necessarily see the interior walls that divide what is a restroom, what's the worship space, what is the classroom, I do start to fill those in my head and start to envision what those spaces are gonna be like. But when I do, I also envision what it will be like when students roam this place all over, when they're in the hallways, when they're in the worship spaces worshiping Jesus without restraint. And the cool thing is, what matters or is going to matter in this space is students will be developed. They will be poured into, they will come to know who Jesus is, and that's what matters.
So we're here in the chapel, and it's going to be the high school worship room, and it converts into a chapel for all generations. And one thing that we noticed the other day, this was not intentional, but the steel actually makes a cross. And that serves as a reminder to me of why we're doing all this. And I hope it's a reminder to everyone else that works on this building exactly what this is all about.
Back in November, when we did begin this entire legacy process, we looked at the life of Joshua, and honestly, one of the stories that we honed in on was when Joshua and the priests had to take a big step of faith into the raging river of the Jordan, and God said, "No, I need you to cross this. I need you to step into it." So honestly, as we have entered this legacy process, little did we know the raging river that we were going to step into, which we now find ourselves in the middle of a global pandemic that has made ministry look entirely different. So reality is, just like the people in Joshua, they built an Ebenezer to remind them of ways that God had worked and the way that He actually allowed them to cross the river. So we need that same thing. Honestly, this building has become, in a lot of senses, an Ebenezer. It's reminding us everything that God promised back in November, He's still promising now in June, even though our lives look totally different. He's saying, hey, take a step of faith. It's through these eyes that I see this building, like an Ebenezer. I also think of Jeremiah 29:11, where God says, I have good plans for you. They are plans for hope and for a future. And every time I step foot around this building, I think, what else could symbolize a hope and a future except this? In a lot of ways, this is God saying, I will walk you through this raging river that you're experiencing right now, and there is hope to come on the other side. So I have to say that I am incredibly grateful for Steve and for the whole Axis team, for the architects, for the contractors, for the construction workers, everybody who is making this a reality. Which means, Faith Bridgers, I am grateful for you. Thank you for honoring your pledge to make this legacy a reality. We could never say thank you enough.